Hi guys, it's me Cool and Crazy 4K, and this is going to be a different video today. This is going to be a video on what Star Wars villain, what Chaos God was Star Wars villains worship. I was going to do this video with the Invisible Cactus, but I sadly couldn't find a way to record with him. So, I'm going to start with Chaos Undivided. But sadly, there's not many. I try to think of as quite a few Star Wars villains, but some gods only had like one or two. I added Vastor though, as well. But let's start with the Undivided. This one might surprise people or not. It'll be Emperor Sheev Palpatine. I like to say its full name. Let's wait for it to change. Palpatine, I think, would be Chaos Undivided because he has parts of every Chaos God. I think he's scheming for Zinch, bloodthirsty probably, I would say, and stuff like that for Korn. He likes excess. I would just for he likes excess for Slanesh, I would say, and for Nargo, I mean, look at him. Just look at him. I just think he would be Chaos Undivided, and this guy also gives Chaos Undivided vibes just because I can't really fit him into any other one. This is Moff Gideon. I just think he would be Undivided if he had to be any of the Chaos things, because I don't really think he fits specifically into one god personally. So that's what I personally think. If anyone has any ideas for this, say in the comments. If you change anything, say in comments. Next might be a surprising one. Kylo Ren. You might think, oh, he's Korn, he's angry, bloodthirsty. Yeah, true. And I'm not counting the redemption arcs for this video. I'm just counting them as villains. But yeah, I think Kylo Ren would just be Undivided because I don't think he's specific enough for any Chaos God except maybe Korn. But that's all the Undivided villains. Next, I'm going to move on to Nurgle, who has, I think, not many that I could think of. But Nurgle, I couldn't really think of any. He was probably the hardest one to think of because Star Wars villains. These might be stretches, sadly. Because Nurgle's about diseases and stuff. Stagnation, and this is vaguely stagnation. He's just fat. He's a very big guy, and that is Jabba the Hutt, and just the Hutts in general. I feel like if he had to worship a god, it would be Nurgle, just because he's fat, stays still, stagnation, stays the same and stuff. I just think he would have worship Nurgle. I think this one is a stretch, and this is a whole race, but this is kind of obvious if you've saw the Clone Wars. It's the Geonosians. They have zombies. That's why they quite literally have zombies, and that is the only reason they're Nurgle to me, personally, being honest. So, next god is going to be maybe the most underrated god, possibly. It's Zinch, or however you say his name. He was like hard. He was probably the hardest because it's weirdly specific for Zinch, and you could actually said Palpatine was Zinch, but I only have, I think, one for Zinch, and this one's a massive stretch because if anything, he would be in Tau, and you'll see why when I say who it is. It's Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's one of my favourite Star Wars villains. The reason I think he would be Zinch is he's blue and he's smart, tactical, can change his stuff. So yeah, it's just if I had to choose a villain, a god for Thrawn, it would be Zinch. Now this one is the easiest. Korn, blood, rage, anger, etc., etc. all of them lead to the dark side. So, it's probably quite simple to think of a few. All of these could even go into Corn. I mean, except Fraud. If he was actually Warhammer, it would be Tau. But, he's a Star Wars villain. But, back to Corn. The first one for Corn. You're probably wondering, oh, where's Darth Vader? The best villain of all time, in my personal opinion. Well, he is in Corn, and he's the first one I'm going to talk about. I just think Vader had to be Corn if he was any. I could have said Undivided, but then I thought, it's a bit. He's a bit too angry. He slaughters Jedi. He, just does. He's just a. He would just be Corn, I think. Like, I would have done fan art. I would have done fan art, but I'm sadly not that, best at drawing. But I think Vader would be Corn because he is just angry. He's just he likes to kill Jedi and stuff. Yeah, it's just this is a surprisingly hard video to make, I feel, because it's a bit broad, but the next one is a group. It is the Inquisitors, a different type of Inquisitor, not the Imperial Inquisition. Actually, they technically are the Imperial Inquisition. I just think they'd be Corn. I could have said Undivided, but I feel like, they also kill Jedi. So, I just think it would be Corn. I was thinking maybe Undivided, but then I thought, no, Corn would probably work best because they're very similar to Vader, as in they like killing Jedi. Now, I think this next character is going to be, I think would maybe be Corn's champion. Maybe say if you think it would in the comments. Maul. Maul is just he already looks like a Corn demon. Like, come on. I just think Maul would be like the perfect person for Corn. I mean, like, have you watched the Clone Wars? I don't want to really give any spoilers, but talking about the Clone Wars, I just think he would be perfect for Corn. And then next is Maul's brother. I'm not calling him Darth Maul because he's not Darth anymore. It's not technically himself. It's a Savage Opress. I just think he would be basically the same reason as Maul. He's quite bloodthirsty. I would say, just kills people. I also just realised his name is Savage Opress. Like, damn. And now here is the second to last god. 2 seconds. But yeah, the next Chaos God I'm going to talk about is, it's obviously Slaanesh. Slaanesh is, all of these were hard, but I think Slaanesh may be the hardest, and that is not a pun. Because Slaanesh, Star Wars is obviously for kids, so most parts of Slaanesh stuff would not be allowed in Star Wars. But the only one I could think of was a Sage Ventress. And the only reason I think it would be a Sage Ventress, partly because she's the only one I could think of. And that one episode of Clone Wars where she killed a clone by kissing him, if I remember correctly, that's like genuinely the only reason she's Slaanesh. And I had to find one for Slaanesh because she who farts, etc., etc. It's all, most of the stuff is I could mention here that they could do, and also like it's Star Wars, it's a kid friendly stuff, but it's hard to find for Slaanesh. Now you might think, oh, this guy's not a Chaos God. I mean, I count him as, I hope he becomes a Chaos God because he's such a good character, and that is Vastor the Archifane. He was maybe the easiest, and the answer I think he's maybe the easiest is because I chose minor villains for Vastor because he's kind of a minor Chaos God, and is literally just robot people who like machines and robots and stuff. The first one is Admiral Trench. the spider guy from Clone Wars. The only reason I think he'd be Vastor is he's a cyborg. That's literally it. That is genuinely the only reason. He's a cyborg, and and yeah, this was a hard video to think of stuff for. Next, this might be a surprising one. It's Wat Tambor, the leader of the Techno Union. Also, the only reason I think he would be Vastor is he's the leader of the Techno Union. Basically, the Mechanicus. Like, seriously, that's it. But if you like, Vastor and all the rest of the gods were very hard to think of stuff for, because like reasons, mainly because like you can say, oh, he'll be competent to think of a reason, but that's this video. If you would say anyone where you think they would be, say in the comments. If you would switch someone's god or put someone from Undivided into a certain god, tell me who it is. Subscribe for more videos like this. Goodbye.